Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Muln Automotive Incorporated. This is ticker symbol MULN for those of you who are maybe not as familiar with this company or with this stock. And today was not a great day for Muln. It was an okay day as far as news and as far as the company goes, and we'll get into that later on in the video, but the stock price had a rough day today. Down 7.38%. Now you can see, from the intraday lows to where we closed at, we're actually kind of rebounded a decent amount, up 3.6% from the intraday lows to close, and then after hours even up another 1.77%. So maybe tomorrow will be a better day, maybe the rest of the week will be a better day for Muln, who knows for sure. But I mean, this thing opened red, it got even more red, it bounced back a little bit, but still just an awful day for this individual stock. And the market as a whole, kind of had a weird day. Dow Jones was a little bit up, S&P was a little bit down, NASDAQ a little bit down, Russell down 1.12%. So overall, mostly red in the market, a little bit green in the Dow Jones, but most of the market was down a little bit, down a small amount, maybe even a decent amount, but it wasn't down huge. So a lot of this is Muln specific, and this is Muln really underperforming the market today, which is obviously not a great sign. But one day is never going to tell the whole story. Obviously, individual stocks overperform and underperform the stock market all the time, especially in this crazy environment where people are really kind of shying away from these risk-on stocks, these unprofitable, kind of growth plays, future risky, high reward plays, like Muln obviously is. So that's kind of what's going on with the stock price today. We definitely, like I said, have tons of stories and stuff to talk about, so we'll get right into those. This is from investorplace.com. They posted this article from Chris Lau, who said, Muln stock is a worthwhile lottery ticket. And I think that is a very interesting way to talk about this stock. And I think it does accurately portray the high risk, high reward nature of this one. Because I think, the EV sector in general is very high risk, high reward. A lot of lottery picks and a lot of lottery companies. People have seen the success of Tesla, and they're trying to, duplicate that or replicate that in many different ways. And even Tesla itself has seen these crazy run-ups and these crazy come-downs. And there's obviously a lot of people who still say Tesla, is maybe going to fail, or Tesla is maybe vastly overvalued and, maybe has a lot of room to come down. So for a lot of these companies that are trying to, emulate what Tesla's doing, maybe, hey, they will never get to the crazy overvalued status that Tesla did, if they're even able to get anywhere near to the production and the amount of notoriety and brand value of something like a Tesla. But there's obviously a potential big future in a lot of these EV players and makers too, and somewhat even riding that Tesla wave. What they say in this article is Muln is trading cheaply, attracting EV investors. The good news with battery technology results is a welcome change, and Muln stock is a worthwhile speculative buy. So, they don't really give us too much meat on the bone there, but they are saying, at least this writer does believe it could be a worthwhile lottery ticket, which I think is kind of interesting. The stock has been very volatile. It's all up and down. It's all over the place. It's all crazy. Year to date, down 80%, but even within this year, we had this run where it was down 89% in like 2 months. And then we had this stretch where it was up, 425% over the next month. So even though year to date this thing has been underperforming, it doesn't mean it still hasn't had like peaks and valleys all over the place, and it's constantly going up and down. Who knows what the future has in store for Muln, but I did think it was interesting that there is at least some positive press and some positive articles being put out for a stock that's down almost 81% in the last, going on 6 full months now. It's like the end of June. It's almost July. We also had this. This is probably the biggest news of the day. PR is on the way, confirmed by Mishry Secretary. This is on Twitter. Muln, it's happening. I just called Muln USA, spoke to the receptionist. She confirmed there will be a press release on June 30th, 2022. That's tomorrow, Thursday. I repeat, she said there will be a press release on 6/30/2022 at David Mishry. You the fucking shit, man. Let's fucking go. Call if you like. She will confirm with you as well. And this led to a bunch of people calling. These posts were all over the subreddit, which I do think is bad and is probably a little bit weird. They, just ended up everyone calling the Muln receptionist and probably, backing up the phone lines and harassing them in some ways, and probably being a little bit weird and a little bit cringe. If they put this out, that probably should have been good enough for most people. Maybe like one other person called to confirm so we can know that somebody's not just totally making this up or something like that. But there are a lot of people saying that a big press release is coming tomorrow. And this lines up with a lot of the things that we had heard. We heard big news was coming by the end of Q2. Obviously, like I said, the second quarter of the month, April, May, June, we're about to get into the back half of 2022, which would mean if we're going to get news for the end of Q2, it needs to come before the calendar turns over to July, which would mean tomorrow. So it does seem like we will be getting a lot of information tomorrow, because from what we've heard about this announcement, it should be not only the Fortune 500 company that Muln has a deal with, but it should also be the scope and size of this deal, or the potential scope and size of this deal. Like if things go well, if both sides are happy, if they're able to meet, production requirements and all this stuff. So today, getting this news is very, very big. This is a very big deal, definitely. But then tomorrow, actually getting to hear what the deal is going to be and what the specifics are and who the company is and all this stuff, that is going to get dissected and analyzed by, everybody out in the market. Maybe we'll see a full reaction to that on Thursday. Maybe we won't see that full reaction until the following Friday, or maybe even the next week after that, because sometimes these things take time to really play out and for people to really make sense and start, crunching the numbers and make sense of it all, especially for a stock like Muln, which isn't as closely followed as maybe some other stocks out there. We also had this news coming out, the fact that FedEx is considering multiple EV makers. Imagine what's possible. This is FedEx Logistics Tech ordered 2,500 DM Bright Drop EVs for Express, 83K vehicles in their Express fleet, and they're considering multiple EV makers. So this obviously lined up with the press release coming out from Muln soon, does make some people wonder, hey, is this going to be FedEx? Is this Muln teaming up with FedEx? Or could this even potentially be Muln and FedEx teaming up in the future? Because part of me says, hey, if FedEx is considering multiple EV makers right now, how are they going to announce a deal with Muln tomorrow when the deal with Muln, the deal that Muln's going to be announcing has been done for a while? So, if like a month or two ago, FedEx was considering multiple EV makers, yeah, that would maybe line up with this timeline. But to say today that FedEx is considering multiple EV makers, that doesn't really line up with the timeline of what Muln's about to be announcing. But still, hey, maybe they've already gotten a deal done with Muln. They're considering other EV makers. I don't know for sure. There is some people saying it's FedEx. There's also people saying it's going to be all different other kinds of companies. Everyone has a guess. Everyone has a prediction. And I'm just glad and excited that more so than even who the company is, because I don't really think that matters that much at the end of the day. I think it much more matters, how many vehicles, what the amount of money is, how many years, what are the specifics of this deal going to be, what is the monetary, or at least the potential monetary value of this deal going to be for Muln, because that is what is going to greatly move the stock price up or down based on, what their potential sales and revenue and all this stuff could be. We also had this post of a guy talking about how he believes Muln Automotive may be severely underestimated by all of us. One of the key undefined areas and neglected by most of the Muln shareholders and community is the battery tech itself, not the vehicle pack battery. When we started exploring those possibilities with IBM, we looked at a coin-size cell that potentially can be the holy grail of battery technology. Starting to look into what Li Air Tech is, just all these different things going on. It's kind of an interesting, not a super long post, but a little bit longer post that I don't just want to read through in this whole video. But, there are some people saying, hey, maybe people need to take a second, third, fourth, whatever look at the battery tech for Muln. And maybe this can be what really differentiates them between other EV makers and helps them stand out and maybe capture more of the market share. And again, in turn, that's going to be more money, more revenue, more profit, and hopefully a higher stock price too if everything does go well. Finally, this last post, the fact that Muln waited for the last day to release battery results. He thinks Mystery has something up his sleeve. I think the stock should be $5 just on battery, DOE loan potential, and the 5. But I think we could get some type. I think we could get some type of surprise Fortune 500 news this week. And then again, obviously the stuff has come out that it seems like we're going to be getting that news tomorrow. So there is a lot of people excited about this. But yeah, every time Muln makes an announcement, it seems like they wait till the very last minute to actually put it out. I'm sure that's annoying and frustrating for some people, but for other people, maybe they think it drums it up to the absolute highest degree and gets them the most excited, the most hyped up, the most ready to go. I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. Tomorrow could either be a really, really big day for Muln or an absolute disaster, but it'll either be interesting to finally come to a conclusion to this story. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Let me drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about MULN. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.